There's a brand new way to make absolutely boatloads of money in 2025 with YouTube. This is something I've kind of kept under wraps. Some people have been talking about it. I don't see many people talking about it, and this is way better than shorts automation. This is way better than automation or faceless channels in general, and this is going to be those live and clips channels. Now, I have personally ran one of these channels, and the channel here I'm showing you is not one that I ran. This is Jinxie Live. This was a competitor to a channel I ran sometime 2 years ago at this point. But I want to show you in the last 28 days, according to NextLev, which is fairly accurate, he's made roughly $64,000. It's probably around there. I'd say it's probably between 48 and 50. It gets a little bit squirrely on the higher ends, but very least $40,000 with an $8 RPM, which is pretty true. If I go to his videos here, we can see that most of his videos are these like longer form videos. They're getting, 500,000 views, 600,000 views on a 30-minute video. The RPMs are actually pretty good because I ran a channel in the similar space between $12 and $15, and you're making actually pretty good money. And just to show and prove it here, this is the channel that I ran. Now, unfortunately, I'll come clean here. I did not make all this revenue. And what happened was, because I did not get express permission from creators doing a VOD style channel, actually for Jinxie in this case, I ended up getting striked and claimed, and then I was demonetized and removed from the program. So all that money I had got taken. I didn't make 2,000 of it, but I lost the extra 3,500. But yeah, I mean, those are real numbers. It's real money that I actually made. And I want to bring this up, and I want to bring this kind of to the forefront because it's way better than automation in my opinion. And if I was not a YouTube strategist and I was not working with 1 of 10, this is the model I'd absolutely go with. And the reason why is it's incredibly easy if you know what you're doing. You can scale it incredibly fast, and it's essentially no barrier to entry with a lot of upside. So I'm also going to bring up a few other channels, but I'm going to start out with Asmongold. Asmongold, and this came across my radar a few months ago when I was just kind of looking into things, was at one point like the biggest YouTuber on the platform in terms of views per month. During election season, he was getting like a ridiculous number of views. I think it's almost like 200 million long form views a month. And if I go to, let's say, like the 1 year, yeah, he had 1.1 billion views by himself. And as election season was ramping up, he was getting like, ridiculous numbers of views, like 40 million views in a week, which is just unbelievable. So he became functionally one of the biggest YouTubers on the platform, and all he does is clips. These are not scripted videos. These are not edited videos. And Asmongold, in reality, is actually not as well known as someone like, let's say, a Mr. Beast. But because he has such high output and it's about relevant topics and drama, it gets a ton of views. Now, this is his main channel, but it's functionally a clips channel. And the way that you can go about doing that is building clips channels for other people. This is the method, is you reach out to a creator. There are tons of creators. Think of all the guys in FaZe, all these guys in OTK, all these massive streamers and these massive YouTubers, particularly live streamers that we want to focus on, and you want to go out and reach out to them and be like, hey, I'd love to run a, clips channel for you. Can I get express permission? We could do a revenue split if it gets monetized, or, if it does well, you can hire me in a full-time capacity. And I'm actually pushing 2 or 3 of my personal clients right now to do this because I have a method that I think it's going to work really, really well. It's going to give them extra revenue, and it's going to do like wonders for the channel because it gives you a lot of inbound interest in your content outside of like the clips channel making money. It's really good as a funnel. We saw this massively blow up with TikTok in 2021, 2022, which is how Jinxie originally got big. And now he's using all these clip stuff that he's putting out here on his Jinxie Live channel to form more interest in his content. And he just kind of keeps that flywheel going. And having everything on YouTube is actually arguably better. Way easier for viewers to be like, oh, I'm going to just go from here to here via end screens. There's a lot of really interesting ways you can do it. But they make a ton of money. So I'm going to bring up kind of one more stat. This is Rock, is a YouTuber I watch a lot. And I haven't been watching basically any of his content from his main channel because it takes roughly a week for him to make a video. On the Clips channel, he posts essentially a clip every single day from his stream. And by doing so, it's been insane. He talks about it in this video a lot, about the guy running the channel and how things have been going. And it's just going straight up. This is a revenue graph. And I would hazard a guess based on the topics he's talking about and how often he uploads is probably in the $12 to $15 RPM range, even though his videos are shorter. He talks about way more relevant topics to higher bidding advertisers. So if I just go back to his growth, I mean, this is just his growth from October of 2023, right? So a little over a year ago. Let's be conservative here and just say this is probably January of 2024. It's just straight up. So if you partner with a YouTuber and do this, you can make a lot of money. I did this. Now, okay, obviously without the consent of the creator at this time, I made $5,000. And that was like the first month that I was actually like making money. I was making $500 a day just doing this for like 2-3 days. And then outside of that was like $200 a day. And the best part is it doesn't take any work besides reaching out to the creator and having a good pitch. I know this because I'm now setting that up for my current creators. And it's fairly easy to do. outside of that, like, the money's really good. Like, it's incredibly, incredibly, incredibly good. And I would really encourage a lot of people to do this because you don't need a lot of knowledge on YouTube. Whereas something like faceless YouTube is arguably a higher barrier to entry because it's cost prohibitive in some senses. It's also like knowledge prohibitive, where you have to have a certain base knowledge of YouTube to actually do faceless correctly, and you might need a decent amount of startup capital. Here, you don't need any of that. You just need to find a creator to partner with, and by partnering with that creator, you can kind of figure out what works because the blueprint's already there. You can go to any of these live channels, and none of the editing here is hard at all. And the thumbnails are like, this is just a screenshot from stream, and it has, 150,000 views. Granted, it's Jinxie, so it's a little bit different. But if I go to, let's say, if I go back to Atrioc, I want to say Atrioc thumbnails are like the most complex or complicated things in the world. These are just screenshots from the stream. Sometimes it's like relevant. Like, this is just Mario. This is a Mario background and jobless with a red arrow. Like, these thumbnails are not hard, but they're consistently getting hundreds of thousands of views. And the nice thing is, these views aren't exactly Atrioc viewers. These are viewers on the broad platform that are now watching Atrioc content. There's a nice little funnel going there. And this happens for a lot of people. Outside of that, you can, like I said, run live channels. So this is a clips channel. Functionally, they're pretty much the same. The only difference is live channels can be a little bit more structured, where you can go out and record a video live on Twitch, and then you can turn that into a live channel video. Whereas things like this, if I go back to Big A, these are just clips. If I go to Asmongold, it's just clips. And if I go to Asmongold's clips channel, because he has a second channel, which is functionally the same content, guess what? His clips channel has 1 million subscribers, and he's averaging 1 million views a video, which is more than his main channel. And it's the same content for the most part. Oh, yeah, okay, it's slightly less than his main channel. But yeah, it's just ridiculous numbers. And let's say this revenue is accurate, right? Even on the low end, for both these channels, they're making about $200,000 for his main channel and his secondary channel. Ridiculous numbers. And if you also want to like break it down, Pyrocynical and Moist Critical are functionally this type of YouTuber, where they just talk about things on stream and then they just upload them as like their main videos. And what you can do is there are a lot of streamers who just want to be streamers. It's the only thing they want to do is be streamers, to go live every day. And you can work with them, clip their stuff, get access to their dashboard as an editor, so you can see their whole stream, go through it, and clip it. So if you are a fan of any Twitch streamers, I highly recommend reaching out to them and being like, hey, I'd love to start a clips channel for you. Can I get your permission to use your clips on my channel? And if it starts making money, we can do a revenue share. Or if it is beneficial to you in the long term by getting you more viewers, then that's something that we can do to maybe like fund me full-time and hire me full-time to do this, as it's a way to get you more viewers. And then you can just kind of fund me with the channel. I highly recommend it. It is like the most broken thing of all time if you know what you're doing. And it's not hard to know what you're doing. You just need access to their VODs. If not, you can download it through third-party VOD downloaders from Twitch, and then you just cut it up, get a good title, get a good hook going, and farm. And I want to show you this as well, because I have another great one, which is Flom Clips and Highlights. This is another great example, and I've really started seeing these kind of take off in like the last 6 months, but it's always kind of been like a pretty like solid strat. This is Flom. I watch a lot of Counter-Strike. Flom is one of the guys that I watch a lot, but I can't watch his streams all the time because he streams until 3 a.m. So in that case, I have this clips channel where I can watch. Now, this is a low total addressable market, so it's not as impressive. But if I go to like, let's say his main channel where he uploads once a week, which is like a, an educational piece of content, it's very hard. This can just live. He can just go on stream and react, and like this is the style that's working for him, and he's doing really, really good. He's even said it in his videos that he's getting 4, 5, 6,000 subs this month alone just by doing this. Obviously, he's talking about drama in the community, and it's doing really, really well for him. So it's kind of some food for thought. I think almost everyone just starting out, instead of doing faceless YouTube, do this instead. It's a way lower barrier to entry, number one. Outside of it being a lower barrier to entry, in my opinion, if you like can hit it right, you could probably run 3 or 4 of these channels easier than like 3 or 4 faceless channels, and you can scale these higher. Now, I do think there is a higher cap on faceless channels and branded channels. I think you can get branded channels probably to hundreds of thousands of dollars, where these are probably going to be in the mid tens of thousands of dollars. But for someone just starting out, I think this is probably the absolute best method to make money right now on YouTube. I think it's better than shorts. I think it's better than whatever like music ad placement things going on. I think it's better than faceless. I think it's better than automation. I think it's better than all of these. Like by a massive margin. And I would highly recommend a lot of people do this because it is just a gold mine. It's untapped right now, in my opinion. There's probably 2 or 3 guys that know what they're doing, and they're most likely going to monopolize the market. There's always new creators. Like if you reached out to like mid-cap creators in the sense of like, okay, maybe like the probably top 1% on Twitch, which is like, 5,000 CCV or less, there are tons of these guys that you can reach out to, and tons of these guys that you can edit their VODs or their videos or their clips and just really, really, really farm. And what I mean by edit the clips, if you watch these videos, like if I just I'll bring up Big A video, right? because I like Big A's content. So I'll open this, I'll mute the tab real fast, and if I like look it up, like this is it. Like it's just him reacting and then pausing and then giving input. And when he pauses and give input, like that's just like a Zoom. You can just download a Zoom pack that does this for you on the screen. Like it's so incredibly easy. And this is getting like 160,000 views, and it's like it's just so easy. So yeah, I think this is the best app, the absolute best way to make money in 2025. If I was not a strategist, a full-time strategist working with creators with tens of millions of subscribers, this is the model I'd be doing, and it would probably make me more money, potentially. So yeah, I just want to throw this out there. This is like absolutely the best way to make money right now in 2025 with YouTube, maybe in general, because the barrier to entry is really low. There's no cost startup. There's a lot of things going in your favor for this. And if you have no skills at all, this is easily the best way to make money in 2025.